First, I want to get your take on this Geneva mechanism the Treasury Secretary was just talking about. Is that pretty much in line with other trade negotiations, or is there something different going on here?
No, it's actually a pretty classic rendition of the kinds of interactions and the level of the interactions between U.S. and China that have led to deals. So it's not novel, but it's important. It means the right level of decision maker is engaged on the Chinese side, and the right decision makers on the U.S. side.
So I want to get your take on what the president said. We showed a soundbite earlier, and right now we're showing the president in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, during his Middle East tour. Just earlier, we played a soundbite where the president said he may talk to Xi later this week. What does that symbolize to you? What does that signify about the talks in Geneva and about the possibility of a final deal here? As these two sides, I mean, the tariffs obviously impacting both the U.S. and China.
Well, I think Trump has indicated that he really wants to talk to Xi, and the way he likes to run these negotiations is for him to intervene and to, set the deal and close the deal. China works quite differently. China likes to shield its leader from risk. And it's not necessarily the case that China is going to be rushing to have Xi Jinping get on the phone with Trump if the parameters of what is going to be said and where the deal is are not clear. So there could be a reinforcing call that's pleasant between the two leaders today, or this week. But Xi is not going to be doing negotiations directly with Trump, would be my gut reaction, not at this stage.
Obviously, you're very familiar with U.S. China negotiations. 30% right now is where we're at right now. The president's saying 10% is pretty much his baseline for every country. How do you think Chinese officials are taking this, especially after the impact to their manufacturing sector, and I would imagine to the consumer confidence there as well?
Well, as both sides have said, the higher tariffs were effectively decoupling the two economies, and that's not good for the global economy. It's not good for the United States economy. And it's not good for China. So moving down the tariff ratchet is definitely good, but we have to remember 30% tariffs are still really high. Our average tariffs were about 2.5%. So a 30% tariff still leaves a lot of businesses in America hurting, and it leaves a lot of Chinese businesses wondering where the next 90 days are going to go. It's better. It's definitely better.
Claire, by the way, as I mentioned, we're showing pictures of the president right now in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, shaking hands, talking to different officials. The president there seeking investment from the Middle East in the U.S. As you mentioned, this is kind of a deal-making president. So in your mind, what needs to happen to move this agreement forward? What needs to happen from the president as far as rhetoric? The Chinese have repeatedly mentioned that they just don't kind of like the rhetoric coming out of the White House. And what needs to happen as far as tariffs and deals, whether it's specifically tariffs or non-trade barriers and currency and things like that, based on your experience?
Well, it sounds as if Trump's goal is to try to get China to open
Claire,
to U.S.
I want to interrupt just for a second.
Yes.
Right now, we're looking at live pictures of Saudi Arabia. The president's talking with Jensen Huang, also speaking with Saudi Arabian leaders right now. So NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang there speaking with the president, clearly engaged in a pretty close conversation. Doesn't seem just to be like Jensen Huang is shaking hands and passing by. They're kind of engaged right now, discussing something. The president just actually tapping Jensen Huang on the arm, and Jensen Huang shaking the president's hands, another official's hand before he walks away. We're seeing another official walk up. I believe that is Elon Musk. We're seeing him from the back, but I believe it's Elon Musk right now speaking with the president rubbing Elon Musk, the Tesla CEO, on the arm as well. Elon Musk also speaking with Saudi Arabian officials right now. So we're seeing some very prominent U.S. business leaders taking part in this meeting. Again, the Saudi-U.S. investment meeting is happening right now. The president right now speaking to Elon Musk along with other Saudi Arabian leaders. We're going to stick on this just for a second to see what other leaders may be around there. We're seeing a different angle. It is absolutely Elon Musk right now talking with the president. Claire, please just stand by. We're just kind of looking at some of these pictures right now. Again, the president speaking with Elon Musk. Elon Musk now walking away. Another person walking up and shaking hands with the president. So, Claire, I want to come back over to you right now. We're going to keep the live pictures up. I want to ask you, what do we need to see to move this deal forward between the U.S. and China?
Well, we need both sides to sit down and actually hammer out some details. And it sounds like that's what's going to happen, which will be helpful. It's just going to be complicated, depending on how ambitious each side wants to be. China's goals are pretty clear. They want things as stable as they can possibly be for as long as possible. And there are certain things they're not going to give up. They're not going to change their system. They're not going to change their use of state-owned enterprises. And I don't know to what extent they're going to be really restraining themselves in terms of providing subsidies and the like. That will be very interesting because that's an area that the United States has focused on, these distortive subsidies that China is giving to its companies that then allow the companies to flood global markets with goods and services at prices and that the rest of the world can't compete with.